Mary Ellen Pleasant was undoubtedly an undisputed hero in our state's rich history. Her work to abolish slavery and helping African Americans to gain rights earned her the title, the Mother of Civil Rights. I can't say for sure when or where Sis Pleasant was born for that matter, but it was somewhere around 1812. See, her beginnings were a bit obscure, sketchy. Even she, her own self, would offer contradictory reports about the stories of her own life. She would say, "I was born free in Philadelphia." And then other times she'd say, "I hails from a plantation in Augusta, Georgia, the daughter of a voodoo priestess." Now, the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. Most likely, she was born an indentured servant. See, people of all races found themselves in that predicament in those times. I would imagine in order to do all she did, she would have to have great espionage skills. So, some things, facts, and secrets had to remain ambiguous. Mary Ellen met and worked for a Louis A. Williams and his wife Ellen. The two were so fond of each other, they were inseparable. You wouldn't see one without seeing the other. Well, that angered Mr. Williams to the point of jealousy, so he traded her contract to Grandma Hussey in Nantucket, Massachusetts. Now, it was during this time that she hid her African American heritage. They say that her skin was so fair, and she used it as a tool to infiltrate. Now, during her time at Grandma Hussey's, she taught herself to read and to write. When her time of service expired, Grandma Hussey helped her find a job. So her travels now take her to Boston, where she works as a tailor's assistant. And she meets James Smith, a wealthy Cuban business investor. They shared Quaker beliefs, and they worked together on the Underground Railroad, helping to abolish slavery. Smith died in 1844, but he left Pleasant a gang of money. Mary Ellen Pleasant had a handsome profit, and she used it wisely, investing in gold and silver with the money her first husband left her. She later met and married John James Pleasant, but we don't know much about him, because in 1849, she moved to San Francisco alone. Now, honey, here's where the plot thickens. As Ellen Smith, a white socialite, she would gain the trust of San Francisco's most affluent, and she bought a boarding house that rumored to double as a brothel. Now, the good Lord knew she would need that fair skin because she used it as a bargaining chip and was able to gain the trust of San Francisco's most affluent. Now, in her boarding house, brothel, she would gain information from some of the same family men that she used to work in their homes as a cleaning woman. Sister had street credit and respect in political and investment circles. She was an activist too, known for her participation in at least 2 separate legal suits against the San Francisco Cable Car Company, refusing to give rides to blacks, and her in particular. Could you imagine? That could have blown her cover. She used her own money and resources, helping African Americans gain their freedom and rights in negotiations for jobs. In 1870, she took on a position running the Thomas Bell household. Now, this would become her last partnership. Soon after she took the position, Bell went from being wealthy to becoming enormously rich. Now, some people say it was because of her being the daughter of a voodoo priestess that it gave her some magical powers and she was able to increase Belle's balance. Now, the nature of their relationship was a little unclear, but it was said that she ran the Belle household like it was hers and not his wife Teresa, making all decisions on important matters. Well, in 1892, Thomas fell from a ladder, and his wife Teresa was able to legally evict Mary Ellen, and she did. Now left with no finances, she moved to a less glamorous part of San Francisco with friends. She would never regain financial independence again. And on January 11th, 1904, Mary Ellen Pleasant died. But she went to her grave claiming Teresa took what was rightfully hers. Hi, my name is Marilyn Sue Perry-Ross. The piece that I just presented is called Mary Ellen Pleasant. I wrote it, I didn't give it any other title. But she was the mother of civil rights for the state of California. Out of my research, I came up with 8 minutes of informational monologue, shall we say. It was just inspiring to find this nugget of information. I was raised in the Midwest. Unfortunately, African American history isn't taught in the school system, and it was a challenge because I don't meet her features, but a good storyteller can tell anybody's story, I think. I performed the Mary Ellen Pleasant piece in March of 2017 here at Chaos for Women's History Month. I would hope that someone would take away from this that wherever you are, whatever you have enough to make a difference. So if each person could just start with themselves, respecting each other as well as themselves, then we could get to a better day, I believe. I hope, I pray.